Hey, it's Sean from P2R. It's been a long time since we filmed a video on our 4th Gen Acura TL. Ever since we lost our local track, Palm Beach International Raceway, this car has pretty much been sitting in the corner collecting dust. This car was actually bought and built purposely for the IRRA race series, which was the roll racing series that we ran it. As you guys seen in the past, the car started off all motor. We raced the season with it that way, and basically since it was solely meant for IRRA, we kind of just, the car evolved based on the rules of the class that we were racing. Each year, we did a little bit more. I think one year we were all motor, then we ended up adding nitrous, and then last, before it went away, we were running the supercharged setup right around like that 400 horsepower mark. Because that class had like mile per hour limited classes. We were running the 120 mile per hour class, so I had built the car pretty much to go as fast as possible without breaking that 120 mile per hour mark. But with that said, the car sat for way too long. It's time to bring it back out. So I'm over here at BDS Racing. He's actually gonna be fabricating our turbo kit that we're putting on the car. It's time to go for some big power and run some of the bigger roll race series.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Brian at BDS Racing. Just do a little shop overview. This is my S13 240 I put together to do a little grassroots drifting. I'll show you what's going on.
What you got in this thing?
It's got a aluminum LS3. Makes around 475 at the wheel. Just cam and valve train work. Put this together over the past couple years. A lot of time into this one, but yeah, it's a fun car, really fun car. And show you some of the interior on here, all the goods.
What is this?
And here we have a K20A engine and trans for my DC2 out there. The daily driver is getting an upgrade, so a little bit more power on the street, and this thing is getting some love, getting a repaint, some new wheels and suspension work, and show it some love. So, but that's a brief overview of my personal stuff here. Other than that, I like helping friends out and doing some work for the customers. So it's been a good gig for sure. All right, so far I'll give you an overview of what we got going on here. So started out having to mount this Bullseye Power Turbo up in the front. The goal was to get it as center as possible into the front bumper, with still giving room for radiator, obviously routing the exhaust hot side, wastegate plumbing, all that stuff. So kind of limited on space, but using the laser here, found center line of the car, try to get the turbo as center as possible to that. Using a Maven mount, come up with a couple 90s off the bottom subframe to pick up the turbo. Then also had to add some bracing in there just to make sure everything was solid, no flex. Then moving on, Sean supplied me with a intercooler core, air to water. So came up with some end tanks to get that to work properly. We have the blow-off valve over here mounted on this side of the intercooler. Still have to come up with a mounting system on it. Just finished up this stuff pretty much right before they got here. Then moving on up, we're using all Vibrant HD clamps for all intercooler plumbing. All Vibrant products on everything. P2R manifold Sean supplied. Still working on the up pipe. All the pie cuts coming up. Get center line on the hood.
So for now, I put pretty much this is a mock engine. It's a hollow shell. There's actually no internals in there. I stuck that in the car just so we had something here for him to be able to have, for the fabrication, to know where everything is going to fit. I wanted the turbo as far forward as possible. Even though it's an all-wheel drive platform, these are still predominantly front-wheel drive, so I want to keep all the weight in front of the tire as possible, just to kind of maximize traction. I've been collecting parts for some years now. I've had this turbo in the closet for about 3 years now. Bullseye Power actually hooked it up. It's supposed to make up to 1,200 horsepower. I'm not quite sure if we're going to get there or not, but we're going to basically try to run as much boost as we can and cross that 4-figure mark. I know one question a lot of you guys might wonder is why did I choose going with a single port on the exhaust manifold, especially since I'm trying to go after maximum horsepower. To be honest, the real reason we went single port on this particular engine is just simplicity. I didn't really want to get into having to build a full 3-port manifold. I didn't have a lot of the components in stock for doing that, so I figured it'd be a lot easier just to do the single port. We also make these stainless flanges in-house, so I just figured it'd be nice and easy. Pretty much everything on this setup is stuff that I pretty much had it in the shop already, and I'm just trying to keep the budget down.
It's a budget build, huh, Sean?
This is a budget.
High horsepower budget build.
High horsepower budget build. 2025.
Everything is budget. No. So like Sean was saying, he went with the single port head design. So he provided me with these billet flanges here. So it did package quite well for the hot side piping. So this is the crossover pipe for the rear bank leading forward so far. So I'll have to chop and put a V-band so you can separate the rest of the hot side from the rear bank. But this is what I come up with so far. Then for this front bank, basically we're going to tie in, we're going to have this merge into the turbo and have the 180s here. So we'll come out from the head. Then we're going to put a flex joint in here, then reduce from 2 3/4 to 2.5, probably right after the head flange, for getting a tight radius bend in here. Then the plan is to have both wastegates forward facing, so you'd have both merges come out here on the U-bends. So you'd have a wastegate here and a wastegate here. Then both wastegate dumps are going to egress out the side, more than likely through the front bumper as well.
So I always like how the teardrop out the hood looks. So I got this nice 4-inch teardrop because we got a 4-inch downpipe coming out. And it's going to exit somewhere around here. He's going to keep the downpipe as far forward as possible so we can keep it away from the front valve cover. And I don't know, straight, angled, whatever he comes up with, I'll be happy.
I'm thinking going straight.
Straight up like that?
Yeah, I think I'm going straight. I'm going to try to get it as flush to the hood as possible. So it's probably going to land with another pie cut added on, and the merge, it's probably going to land in this region here.
Okay.
So yeah, it should be probably right around there is where it's going to be coming out.
Yeah, we'll cut the hood, and this would be basically flush right there.
Yep.
Below it. Yeah, that'll look pretty sick. We're not even cutting out my logo.
Yep, logo staying intact.
Yeah, as Brian mentioned earlier, we have a water-to-air intercooler on the car. And in case you were wondering why I chose to do water-to-air, it's kind of just the design of this car didn't really have a lot of room for any sort of intercooler, like an air-to-air. And especially since I wanted to center mount the turbo, we just didn't have room to fit a intercooler core that would pretty much carry enough velocity or even have enough room for air to cool it. So the water-to-air is going to allow us to run a nice ice-cold water running through it. Since it's more of a roll race car, we don't have any particular rules that I know of that doesn't allow water-to-air intercoolers. But there, water-air intercooler can cool down the charge in a lot smaller of a packet. Overall, I love the way how he mounted it. So we got an inlet here. I'm going to loop that around, probably run it along the frame rail, and I'll have my tank somewhere, probably in the trunk area or behind the driver, so I can have a tank that's easily accessible where we can add ice water to it. So the coolest part about having the turbo up front so that's the most recent update on our 4th Gen Acura TL project. In the next video, we'll be back out when Brian's pretty much finished with this. What do you say, about another week of work or so?
Yeah, week and a half, all being well. Should have everything wrapped up, turbo kit ready to deliver to Sean, and put the other engine in.
All right, so yeah, in the next video, we'll show you the finished product of the turbo kit. Probably show you guys a little bit of the engine that I'm building for the car. And I'm actually gonna be bringing the ILX drag race car here next for him to do some of the brake lines, the hard lines and stuff like that. So really excited to get that car out on track. And if you want to follow and see more about this build or any of our other projects, be sure to check out our social media, Power of Racing, or our website, powerofracing.com. And if you like his fabrication work, you can always check out BDS Racing's Instagram, which is
BDS_racing.
Check out and follow his page as well. See you guys again in the next one.
See you.